What is up, guys? Flossy Missiles here. In today's video, I'm gonna be working on these two air compressors. So basically, my friend Eric gave me this compressor right here, which it seems like a decent compressor, but the motor is shot on it. But it's a big 30-gallon tank, and the tank's nice on it. And then he gave me this Ingersoll Rand compressor, which is super nice, but the tank has a hole in it. So, but the motor's good. So, good motor, bad tank, good tank. So I'm sure you guys can guess what I'm going to be trying to do. I'm going to cannibalize these things, cut them up, try to get this motor and whole situation with fittings and everything onto this tank, and then we can ditch the rest of the parts for this thing and then that tank. But as you can see, the motor on this one and that one are very different. This one's oilless, that one has oil in it. There's two fittings on the top right here for this one. This one's the fittings on the side and right there on top. So I'm gonna have to cut some stuff, weld some stuff, hack some stuff together. Hopefully I can get it working because these were free. Thanks, Eric. So yeah, that'd be cool to have a free air compressor. I've worked on cars for like the past 10 years now and I haven't owned an air compressor. So this should make life easier in certain situations. So let's get into it. Both of the compressors are now completely stripped. minus this fitting right here, which will not come out. I got locking jaw pliers on it, channel locks, nothing's working for getting this guy off. But luckily this fitting is the same one that fits in right here. And so that's gonna be able to transfer over, you know, as soon as I get a new one. This one I'm leaving on just for now, but eventually I'm gonna cut off this whole section and weld it onto this tank. I'm actually gonna get this platform right here, usually the wheel thing right here, and then the motor sits right here. But on this one I'm gonna flip it the other way, so it sits backwards, just because the way that the fittings and the holes are lined up. Should be pretty straightforward. I'm sure I'm gonna have a ton of leaks because I've taken off, you know, everything. As you can see, there's pieces and stuff everywhere. So get a lot of tape on there and hopefully nothing leaks. But yeah, I gotta go to the hardware store, like I said, grab that plug and grab that extra little piece of pipe. Back from Ace Hardware, this just went from a free compressor to a $6 compressor. So here's that little piece of pipe that I needed, that guy right there. And then here is a plug that is gonna go in right there. Sweet, they both fit. And now we're at the part I was looking least amount of forward to, and that's cutting off this stand and that stand. So there's some beads going along right here. There's 6 total, and there's 4 on that one. This one looks like a bigger job, so got my cutoff wheel right over here, the wheel of death, and I'm gonna start cutting. There's the base of the Ingersoll Rand compressor that has the big old motor and all that stuff sitting on this new tank, or the tank from the other one actually. But I'm just kind of seeing how everything fits up. It's looking pretty good. I got some yellow markings around here, guys. That's where I'm gonna go ahead and grind down all this area, and so I could throw some welds onto this piece, and then we can mount everything back up and see what happens. I'm really hoping this one doesn't leak. Just laid down some hot welds. Actually not super hot or anything, but this thing is glued on. I tried to do all the spots where I was actually just touching for no vibration and rattling and stuff like that, and to make it super strong. It's either better or as good as it was welded on before. So yeah, let's move on. Things at this point are looking pretty killer. Everything's clearing, everything's lining up good. Nothing looks like it got tweaked during the welding process. I still got to put on the little canister thing that catches like oil and debris and stuff right there, and we're actually hooking the air hose at. And then I got to do the line that goes from here down into the tank, which I'm gonna have to drill a hole, cut out some sections of that tank and then weld it into this one. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if this will shut. This is the inside of that bad tank. As you can see, there's rust holes on the bottom of it and it's all corroded. But here's what we got going on. I went ahead, and this is the piece I cut out, I went ahead and screwed it back on to this copper pipe right here going up to the actual compressor piece itself, the pump or whatever, and I'm lining up where I'm going to go ahead and cut it in. So basically what I'm going to do is I'll mark it out with a marker and I'll grind that area down so it's down to bare metal, and I'll drill a hole for the actual fitting itself. But then the rest of it I'm just going to weld all along the outside edge and it should be airtight. My Harbor Freight hole saws were not having it. I just doled up like 2 of them. But the hole is cut. You would not believe how thick this metal is. I'm actually quite shocked how thick it is. Yeah, hole's pretty big, but I needed all the room. Where's the other piece at? I'm not sure where the other piece is at. I lost it. But anyways, oh, it's right here. I needed it that big because, as you can see, this sticks out all the way around to this edge right here because of the weld and everything. So it wouldn't sit flush against it, but now it does. And so when I weld it on, it'll be nice. But it's also big enough for me to fit my shop vac in and get all the shavings out. Not that many shavings went in. I was kind of keeping an eye on it because I was wondering. And I'll get the shop vac in there for probably 10 minutes. I'll just suck it all out. And the hose is perfect size for this. So kind of clean it out right now. Finally ready to weld this on. Just laid a bead all the way around it. As you can see, I had to go back and fix this little area right here because the wind blew and blew my shielding gas and got a bunch of like I can't talk. Anyways, the wind blew and messed it up right there, so I had to go back and fix it. I'll grind those little spots down, but pretty smooth all the way around. Almost all back together. The only thing missing is a handle. And this thing just gained a little bit of weight with this motor on top compared to the old motor. So I'm gonna go with the bigger handle right there and we'll mount her up real quick. I gotta drill some holes and get her done. Okay, now for the moment of truth. I got it all done. It's all ready to rip, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. I got some soapy water right here, so I'll spray down the areas where all the fittings came together and all that. I mean, I don't know what leaked beforehand, so I don't know if there's gonna be any new leaks. But also the valve on the bottom, I turned it all the way open, and so hopefully if there's any debris in there, whatever kind of shoots it out. I doubt that'll really happen, but we'll see. Let's fire this thing up. All right, here we go. Oh, on switch. Woo! Everything's looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and close that valve on the bottom now. It's going up. We're at 20. I'm gonna let that build up a little bit. Actually, let's go ahead and spray some soapy water. Awesome, no leaks there. Oh, here's a little leak, it looks like. Right at the corner. Yep. Right there. I need to go back and hit this corner real quick again, but the rest of the weld is good. Just this one little corner has a little leak. No leaks anywhere else. Well, awesome. I'd call that a success for sure. I'm gonna leave this thing running for a little bit and see if it cuts off at 160 or 170 or whatever the PSI cuts off at. Okay, so she just shut off at 120 PSI. So I don't know what pressure it comes back on at, but shut off 120, and yeah, no crazy leaks minus that little tiny pinhole leak that I showed you guys. But man, I'd call this a win. I'm so stoked. A $6 compressor right here. And it took me a day's worth of labor, to be honest with you. It took a while. But that's where I'm gonna wrap it up for today's video. Huge shout out to Eric. Thank you so much for the compressors. If you like today's video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more car, tool, motorcycle content. Thank you so much for watching. I just patched up that little hole. Well, I patched up, add a little more weld right there. We're gonna fire this thing up real quick and see if it leaks. That's on. Let me seal the bottom. Bottom is sealed. And there we go. No more leaks. That was just a little update for you guys.